In this video, I'm going to talk about the ctype library in C, which includes all kinds of functions that are helpful for working with characters in C. So we can include it by saying include and then ctype.h. And then we get a whole host of functions that are mostly comprised of functions that return true or false based on whether a character meets some condition or not. And there's also a couple functions that might modify the character itself, and I'll talk about those ones too. So the first function we'll talk about is alphanumeric, and it's spelled like this. You say is al num, and then you have like a character here, let's say like a, and we could pass it in like this. We could say like car C is equal to a, and then we could pass in C here, or we can just pass in a literal value like this and just say a here. I'm going to do it like this throughout the video just because it's easier. And I'm going to say here if is alphanumeric. So alphanumeric means that a character is either a letter like A to Z, or it's a number like 0 to 9. And that would be an alphanumeric character. So we're going to say here, if is alphanumeric, and we're going to do printf with true if it is, and we're going to say printf false if it's not. And this will test the function, right? So we'll test it to see how it behaves with A. And we expect it to be true, right? Because A is an alphanumeric character. So we'll compile this here and we'll run it and we get true. Now we could test this out with some other characters as well. So let's actually like comment this out and then we'll paste it down here, and let's test it with, let's say, uppercase Z. And it's going to turn out that this is going to be true as well, because that's also an alphanumeric character. We could test it with some other things as well. So we could say here, like, maybe try it with the number 8. And this is also going to be alphanumeric, because that's also a letter or a number. We could test it out with, let's say this time something is not alphanumeric. Let's try something like $. So that's not alphanumeric. If we compile this and run it, we now get false because it's not alphanumeric. And that's what a lot of these functions are like. And I'll just kind of take you through them one by one here. So the next function we can talk about is actually called not isalphanumeric, but isalpha. So isalpha. And basically this is checking whether a character is alphabetical or not. So is it A to Z or not? And it could be uppercase or lowercase, it doesn't matter, but it's checking that it's an A to Z character. So we could say here like C, and this should then print out true, and it does. We could try something else, like we could try, let's say, we'll try something that's not an alphabetical character. So we'll try something like 8 now. So it's numeric, but it's not alphabetic. So when we run this one here, we get back false because it's not alphabetic. And so isalpha is another function we've got. And there's a whole host of these, so we'll keep going through them here. So the next one is control. So it's spelled like this. You say is CNTRL. And what this is going to tell us is whether the character is a control character or not. And a control character is basically a character that is not printable. So like C here is printable. So if we were to save this here and run this, we're going to get false there because it's not a control character. Something that would be a control character would be something like new line. So new line doesn't really print out as a character, right? We get a new line on the terminal, but it's not like a character prints out. So new line actually would be a control character. So we can run this here and we get true. And so that's isControl. That's another function we've got here. Now, these are all pretty similar, so I'll kind of go through them, a little quicker here now. So isDigit, similar idea here. If I say isDigit, it's going to tell me whether it's a digit or not. So like 2 is going to be a digit. But for example, something like this would not. If I put in something like isDigit and I put in, let's say, T, that's not going to be a digit. So we'll compile this, run this, compile this, run this, and we get true because 2 is a digit and false because T is not a digit. So that's another function we've got there. Another one is isGraph. And isGraph is going to let us know whether there's a graphical representation for the character. So it works like this. You say isGraph. And something like, say, 5, this would be something that can be considered graphical. So we could say clear, we could run this here, and we're going to get true. Now, an example of something that would not be graphical would be something like the space character, because there is no graphical representation of the space character. So we run this here, we get false. And so that's the isGraph function there. So next one up is islower. So islower is going to let us know whether a character is lowercase or not. So we could say here islower, and we could say maybe G, and this should be true for G being lowercase. But if I were to call islower, and let's say I call it now with capital G, we're going to get false for that one because it's not lower. So if we run this here, we get true and false. And that makes sense because this one here is lowercase, this one here is uppercase. So that's why we get true and then false. There's also a function called isUpper. So we'll actually do the kind of mirror image of it here. We'll say isUpper, and this lets us know whether a character is uppercase or not. So we're going to call isUpper with lowercase g and isUpper with uppercase g, and we'll see what we get here. And we should get the exact opposite of what we just got. So if we run this here, we now get false and true. And that's because, lowercase g is not uppercase and uppercase g is uppercase. So we get false and true. And that's another function down. Okay, so we'll talk about the next one here. So the next one we're going to talk about is isPrint. So isPrint is going to return true if a character is printable and false otherwise. So printable characters are considered things like letters, numbers, punctuation, and also things like spaces. So if we say like space, even though this character didn't count as being graphical, because there's no graphical representation of the character, it is printable. Like a space does show up on the screen, right? So this character here, space, that is considered printable. So if we clear this here, run this again, we get true because it is printable. It's just not graphical. There's nothing that actually shows. It's just a space that is entered. So it's printable. An example of a character that would be not printable would be something like new line. So if we did this and we said here like /new line here, this character will not be printable because it doesn't actually print anything, right? Like there's no blank space even, right? With a /n. So it's not considered a printable character. And all these things, I mean, in some sense, they're a little bit arbitrary in the sense that like, the actual delineation between these groups, there's probably a little bit of room for interpretation. Now that said, there are official lists online of, which characters are included in what sort of class. And so I'll actually include a link to that in the text of this video, just to make sure you got that. So we got a couple more functions here. IsPunct. So IsPunct is going to tell us whether it's a punctuation character or not. So we can say here IsPunct, and we can say here, we'll say here like semicolon. And this will be a punctuation character, whereas something like, let's say, X is not going to be a punctuation character. So if we run this here, we're going to get true and false because this is a punctuation character. This is not. So next up, let's do isSpace. So isSpace is going to be true if the character is a white space. So isSpace is going to be true if the character is a white space. So is and then space. So you got the double S there, which makes it a little tricky to type. And we'll say isSpace. We'll check if a space is a space character. And of course it is, right? So it's true. But there are other characters that are considered white space in C. So for example, things like say /t for a tab or /n, these are also considered what are called white space characters. So if we were to run this here, we're going to get true, true, and true because all of these are considered white space. Whereas, again, a case of something that's not white space would be kind of easy. Something like maybe the @ symbol, like that's not considered white space. And so that's the isSpace function. And we'll just give this last one here a test and we get false because, @ is not white space. And next up, we've got the IsX Digit function. So this function is going to return true if the character is hexadecimal. So like IsX Digit, and hexadecimal numbers are a form of number that uses base 16 basically. And it includes the characters 0 to 9, but then also the characters A to F. And it'll actually work for uppercase or lowercase too. And so like IsX Digit, let's say A, this will actually be true. But something like IsX Digit, and let's say here G, this is actually going to be false. And it's because basically when we use this base 16 number representation, we're using 16 characters to represent numbers. We go up into the letters to start representing numbers. So we have like A to F being used essentially as numbers that represent like 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and so on, right? But at F, we're done. At that point, we've got our 16 characters and there's no more. And so G or other letters will not be true as in terms of actually being a hexadecimal digit, but a character like A or say a character like F, that will be true because those are considered hexadecimal digits. And so that's the IsX Digit function. And now the next function will be actually a little bit different. So we're actually done the functions that return true or false based on whether a character is part of some class of characters or not. So the next two functions are toLower and toUpper. And what they basically do is take a character and convert it to uppercase or to lowercase. So we could say here car C is equal to, and I'm going to say here toLower, and I'm going to say here A. And what this will do is it'll take the character A, uppercase A, and it'll convert it to the lowercase a. So we can say printf, and we can say here C, and we can print out this character C, and we're going to see that C is now going to be lowercase a. So we can compile this, run it, and we get that C is lowercase a. And then toUpper basically does the same thing, taking characters and converting them to uppercase. So if I said here car, and I'll say maybe like D now, and D here, what we can do is we can take a character that's lowercase and we can convert it to uppercase. So we'll say here toUpper instead, and it'll take the character, convert it to uppercase. So we can run this here and we get back A now. Now it'll do nothing if the character is something that, you know, can't be converted basically. So if we said here like E and I said like, let's do a toUpper to like at, which doesn't even make any sense, right? Like how do you do toUppercase of the at character? Basically what it does in this case is nothing. It just returns the original character and it doesn't modify it. So run this here, we'll still get back at. And that's really the ctype library. I'll post a link in the description that goes over all the character classes in more detail, but that's basically it. Check out portfoliocourses.com, where we'll help you build a portfolio that will impress employers, including courses to help you develop C programming projects.